I'm recording, Kermit.
Good.
Okay.
Sorry, Kermit.
It's okay.
Yeah, thanks for inviting us to your house.
It's not my house. We're not going to do that bit.
Please.
Oh my God.
God.
That was me. Not,
Levi.
not you.
I know.
Our Rich Evans over here. It's Pollice Verso with our very special guest, me! Together again. That's what we are, to review Muppets Take Manhattan with our very special guest, Kermit. So we watched Muppets Take Manhattan, and how many of like the Muppet movies have you guys seen? Because you haven't you haven't seen this one, right?
No, I haven't. I haven't seen. The only ones that I've seen are A Christmas Carol and Treasure Island.
Oh, I like that one.
Yeah,
We're
that's
a
a good one.
We're a big fan, Kermit. Don't get us wrong.
Oh, good.
Yeah, big fan. Big fan of all your work.
Oh, you're too kind.
I haven't seen everything yet.
I believe I've seen this one, but it's been maybe a while.
Like when you were a kid.
Yeah,
or
when I was a
something.
kid. And then maybe another one. There's like another one. I just remember them in the park, and it's like a more recent one. I can't remember what it's called.
Was it like just the Muppets?
I don't know.
Jason Segel.
It might have been that one.
Yeah. Well, I've seen pretty much all of them now. So, and this was the second time I watched this one. I remember the first time I watched this one, I was kind of like, I think this is my favorite one. Like, it's just got a lot, because it's kind of it's almost like a variety, like not like a variety show, but like there's a lot of segments. Like there's an overarching story, but there's kind of like bits, you know, like there's the Muppets baby bit. There's the Miss Piggy being jealous of the girlfriend, not the girlfriend character.
Whoa.
I know you just kissed her on the cheek and that's it. But you were it seemed like you were kind of two-timing her.
And wasn't she in high school and you were in college?
She just graduated high school.
I don't know about you, Kermit.
Well, let's. What did you guys like?
We liked, I liked that there was guest appearances, and I turned to Keegan and I was like, who's that?
Like in every Muppet
but
thing?
It was apparently, what's her name?
Levi was really like, ooh, who's that? And it was just Joan Rivers.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, I know who that is, but she still looks pretty old, but she looks younger than she normally does. So
she hadn't had all the work done yet.
Yeah, so I was kind of like, I think I know who that is.
This one is light on the like celebrity appearances. Like when the Disney era was where they like just started like throwing everyone in. Like those recent movies that they did, like everyone's in them.
Well, this one was a little like Liza Minnelli is a guest appearance. And she's been in a number of Broadway productions where she was. So that at least is like congruent with the story of like them trying to get on Broadway. Yeah. And like she's a huge Broadway star.
She had beautiful hair.
She had a nice mullet. Real nice.
Really good. And Kermit, you kind of stole her spot on the portrait wall.
Well, it was a nice portrait.
It was. You look very handsome.
Thank you.
You did. Yeah, you did. The mustache really works on you.
Oh, thank you.
Now, did you have to grow that, or was that painted on? Because I know you have struggles with growing hair, facial hair.
Struggles?
Yeah. I mean, in the movie, you were kind of saying how... I mean, it looks good. It looks good.
Levi, let's just...
It looks good.
Yeah, move on.
Another thing that I liked, I haven't seen a whole lot of Muppet movies, and like I'm not as like familiar with all the characters, but like just I like the design of a lot of the the Muppets. Like I really liked Dr. Teeth, and I really liked. I'd never noticed in the other times I'd seen Muppet stuff that the Swedish Chef has real hands.
You never noticed that?
No, I never. Well, I just wasn't paying attention.
You got to pick up somehow, you know.
Yeah, but like you know how like Fozzie and
Fozzie and Ralph and like, some other characters
have like actual hands.
Yeah.
Another thing I really like is the animatronics that they used to animate the puppets when they're being like lifted up. Yeah, when they're being held or when they're on something.
I think some of that is even just
wires.
Like wires.
Yeah,
like they're like holding the puppet and then like they're just wiring the mouth and the hands. I think a lot of that is just that too. Because there's like times when they drop them and then they start moving around again.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, like Rizzo.
That's right. Yeah. And I noticed a few wires and. Just, you know, I'm not trying to say anything bad to you. I know, like, a lot of martial arts use wires to make the falls and stuff more dramatic, so I'm not saying anything.
And they use harnesses and stuff all the time in modern movies. I mean, it's easier for them to, like, pull them out.
Yeah, definitely.
Nowadays, like, digitally take them away. But they did an amazing job at, like the part where the rats are cooking.
Yeah, that part's really fun. Yeah.
And then... earlier in the movie when the fake producer is like he has the chicken and Gonzo and they're like wiggling in his arms.
Yeah.
There must have been like some sort of like animatronic sort of like
if they're doing any sort of wire work, he's doing a lot of spinning around and that has to be a nightmare to try to get right.
Yeah, I'm sure it's just like a motor with like arms that just like has them flailing a little bit, like, but it's good flavor. Yeah. Instead of them just kind of ragdolling, it's cool that they have like weight. Yeah. And like, they're actually like living.
Some stiffness to it, that it wasn't like just like flopping around.
Yeah.
To go along with how they got a lot of Muppet stuff to work, how do you guys feel about cursed Miss Piggy?
I loved it.
I thought it was good.
A little kid or little person in a Miss Piggy costume.
I mean, it worked.
It's scary though.
It is kind of scary.
Yeah, you imagine it's like midnight and you're like that's coming at you at the park.
In the middle of the park.
Yeah. I still think she looked great.
Oh yeah, she did.
Yeah, of course. She's beautiful. She's more than beautiful. She's unique.
Hey, back off. She's my.
All right, dude.
One of my least favorite parts about this movie is the whole Muppets Baby sequence because it just kind of feels thrown in there.
It's a little out of place.
The song, I think, is like catchy. I don't really like the lyrics, but like the actual like music part of it, I like. So it's like it's like fine. And also the first time I watched it, it felt a lot longer than it was when we just watched it. I just don't really like the look of those little baby Muppets. I think the only one that I'm okay with is Kermit.
He was going to town on that horse. I was a little worried because I was under the impression that the play would be about Manhattan or something to do with Manhattan, and when we actually saw it, wasn't really. It was more about like being together again. And this is me just like thinking like story wise, it wouldn't make sense that a few outsiders would have much to say about Manhattan to Manhattanites in the crowd. So I was a little worried about that, but you guys pulled it together, and I think it was pretty good.
I think it was just about taking Manhattan.
Sure.
Taking it back.
For who?
The Christians.
For God?
On a real Manhattan crusade.
Okay.
And then there's the whole like toward the end where it's like Kermit getting amnesia, like that whole arc, like that kind of feels like random. He gets hit by a car and it looks like he's dead.
Yeah,
and people are like mourning over him.
Yeah, well, and the guy gets out of his cab and like
don't come in the closet.
Yeah, well, he's just like everyone's coming. He's just like, what? No, I don't. You know, he's like he's like pleading his case. You can't hear it, but like you know can imply that that's what's happening. And I just imagine him like he has to go to court for hitting a frog in the middle of New York.
Yeah. So that's what's happening behind the scenes when you're having a big celebration about your big movie or your big play. There's another guy whose life is ruined forever.
Dude, Elliot Gould probably showed up on the scene and arrested him.
That's probably...
Yeah, well, he hit me.
That's true. Justice is served.
Rotten prison. Did you guys enjoy any of the music?
Not really. No, I'm kidding. It was okay.
Yeah, I didn't. I think Together Again is pretty good.
Yeah.
I think the goodbye song they do is like, it's like all right. There's like enough emotion to it that makes it okay.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, the Muppet Baby song, like the music part is good. I like, but I don't really care about the rest of it, like the lyrics or whatever.
I did look up that the Muppet Babies TV show came out just a couple months after this movie came out. So I don't know if it was like the studio wanted to do it or like the production wanted to do it for like promotional reasons.
I think that was part of it, at least.
But yeah, because the cartoon would have had to have been in the works like while the movie was being made too.
Yeah.
So I think they probably wanted to like shoehorn it in somehow. Which is, it's within their right.
But it also doesn't feel that shoehorned in because they had to make all that work. So like, that's the thing with these like Muppet movies is that like they have to work really hard to make it all look good and all that. So like, it hardly ever feels like disingenuine or whatever. No, I like the Muppets, and this is at least one of my favorites. I think I flip-flop between this and the original '79 movie as my favorite, because that one has much better music. But yeah.
Why'd you choose this one in particular?
Because it was so like kind of back and forth. Like there's some iffy parts to it, whereas that one like is like pretty much all the way good.
Oh, so you thought if we watched it, we'd just be like, oh yeah, it's good, and then just okay. I will say the story is a little like kind of vanilla. It's not anything that we haven't seen before.
Yeah, it's actually similar to When Cats Don't Dance.
Yeah, Cats Don't Dance is a pretty similar one.
Yeah, I think you've watched that review.
Goodbye Girl.
Yeah, it's like it's just a people trying to live their dream sort of story. Making it in
the big city.
Yeah, and like I connect with those stories. Like I like those stories just because like it it's like you want your dreams to happen. You know,
that's what we're doing here. Please watch.
So did the Greek diner owner call the Sesame Street gang to come for the production?
I
don't know how they got there, but they're there.
Yeah, well,
maybe where's Sesame Street? Is it in New York?
Yeah.
Okay. He's like, they're the same type of creature.
They're Muppets.
They all know each other.
Well, Elmo is a Muppet, right? Isn't he?
Well, I think they're all technically Muppets.
Are they?
Yeah.
They are.
Because they're. What do you think? Yeah, they're adopted in the family.
Okay. They're like
I would say they're all a part of the same. Because Kermit has been on Sesame Street. Like a lot.
Yeah, I think it's just the style of puppet that they are. Is a Muppet.
Big Bird is just a man. He's a man in like a...
I mean, he's a big bird. But
he's a big bird.
It's a big,
Dude,
and I mean real big.
And bought an Orny Woodale.
Yeah.
And...
Well, that's also why I chose this, because like this movie gets epic.
It's
like every Muppet you've ever seen in your entire life shows up.
Before crossover movies, this was the original.
Yeah. Eat your heart out, Avengers Endgame.
Well, the feeling I was getting, because I never grew up with the Muppets, it was sort of adjacent to my upbringing. Like, I knew people who watched the Muppets and had Muppets stuff, and like we had Muppets books, like Muppets Baby stuff.
Yeah.
We had Muppet books, and we had all that kind of stuff, and we watched Sesame Street all the time. But I never, there was never any nostalgic connection with them. So watching this, you know, being in 2023 and like,
yeah,
it's a classic movie to a lot of people, but for me, I'm watching it with fresh eyes.
Yeah.
And it seems like, because this is the second movie they made, right? Third movie. Plus they had a TV show. I think there's a lot of context and like emotional buildup to the wedding.
Seeing all that.
Yeah, to that I never experienced. So I feel like maybe I wasn't as impacted by it as I should have been or could have been had I seen all of the stuff leading up to, like, with Kermit and Miss Piggy being like friends and like slowly, you know, building this connection, which seemed more like Miss Piggy was in love with him and then tricked him into getting married, and he's just like,
it's kind of their relationship. Yeah.
I never thought I would say this about the Muppets, but do you think the Muppets Take Manhattan would have been able to be made in this day and age?
Yes.
Do you think so? I would not think I would ever have to say this about the Muppets, but there were some risque jokes in there.
Which one?
I don't know, like the cat calling. You think that could be...
Of course that would be in there. That's supposed to be funny.
It is supposed to be funny, but you know there's going to be some people that want to cancel Kermit.
Is it funny because she's a pig? Or is it funny because she's a puppet?
Or is it funny because it's true?
Or is it funny because she's fat?
I think it's funny because the guys are catcalling her. I think it's as simple as that.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be able to make that these days. Like
you would. The worst. I feel like the worst part is the animal chasing around the lady at the college campus. And,
woman.
Yeah, that's the worst stuff, and that's still being done. He's animal and the King Prawn character. I forgot his name.
Steve. I don't know.
Steve the King Prawn. He's a little horny boy.
Which one?
Oh God, why am I forgetting his name? Anyways, we'll just cut all this out. I think as a Muppet movie, it's really fun. There's plenty of stuff to get into, to like enjoy, and even if you don't like a segment like the Muppet movies, you'll like a different segment, like the music in Muppet Babies.
You done?
Well, if you have something,
I have something else. Favorite Muppet?
Oh, it's Gonzo, hands down.
Yeah, Gonzo.
It's 3 for Gonzo. He's just the best.
3 for Gonzo.
Yeah, he's a sweetheart.
Yeah.
He always gets the best songs. Yeah, he sings a song in the first Muppet movie that's really sweet and sad, and then there's another one in the Muppet Show that he sings that's like really sweet, where he talks about how he can love himself and all that stuff, and
even if we love him.
Yeah. It's him, and then probably Rolf, because Rolf gets done dirty. I like the newer, like the couple movies that they did with Disney, but they did him dirty by hardly ever having Rolf, and he was one of the bigger like characters in the show and the few movies.
For being a dog, he doesn't look like a dog.
What do you mean? He's got the big floppy ears.
Yeah.
Yeah, the ears, but like
he's got a little
his
nose.
face. You're kind of saying.
Yeah.
Okay, I can.
Not very. He doesn't have like the snoot of a dog, you know.
Like the other dogs in the pound that he's supervising.
Yes.
Those are good dogs.
I don't need them to be like, you know, I don't need him to be a real dog, but
that. Yeah, but the other ones in the cages.
I don't know.
Gonzo, Ralph, and Fozzie.
But no Kermit. Sorry, man.
I mean, like, because you're like the main, like, we have enough of you.
Who can really choose you without
Miss Piggy's permission?
Everybody likes Kermit.
Yeah.
Nobody doesn't like Kermit.
Yeah, that's probably what I'm trying to get at. Is
definitely.
that I love
it's
Kermit.
Kermit and the Muppets, and we're picking out of the Muppets.
It's like how you kind of would see yourself as Kermit, and so you're looking at the other characters as your friends, and you'd rather say that you like your friends more than yourself.
Yes.
So Gonzo, yeah.
How would you rate this one, fellas?
You want to go first?
Yeah, sure. I would probably give this a side thumb.
Whoa.
Yeah. My reasoning is just like what I said. I feel like there's context that I'm missing to have like any real emotional investment. I was rooting for them to get the Broadway production and all that, and I liked it, but I don't know, it was okay.
Okay.
I'll give it a thumbs up. I enjoyed it. I haven't seen every Muppet thing, but I guess for me, the Christmas Carol one is the classic one that I grew up watching a lot. And this one was good too, but it's probably not as good as that one. So just a thumbs up.
Yeah. I mean, I can't go 2 thumbs up, but...
Why not?
I'm gonna go a high thumbs up.
Okay.
Because I really like this movie. There are some lulls in the story that I'm kind of like, but overall, I really enjoy it. I even get emotional at just seeing all those Muppets at the end of the movie, like at the wedding. Like it's just kind of like it's just a warm and fuzzy feeling just watching the Muppets be the Muppets. And that's about it.
Very heartfelt.
Oh.
Now, Chris, we're gonna have a serious talk about why you don't like my film.
I didn't say I didn't.
You
like
said it was just okay, and you see, that's not enough.
My opinion is my opinion, dude.
Guys, I'm not doing this.